Welcome to episode 2 of the Getsum podcast, where we go through all things Dud Dynasty, and we got the week 13 recap, where we're going through everything that happened in week 13. First off, we got Tuggers versus Bishop Sycamore. Bishop Sycamore gets the best of the rivalry this year, taking both games versus the Tuggers. The first game was by just about a point. This game was by a whole lot more. It was not a great day for the Tuggers. The Tuggers did not get many touchdowns. They had two from Herbert, and they also had one from Charbonnet and one from Kelsey, but that was about it. Their best performer in this game was their defense. That's not good. You can't have your defense be your best performer and hope to win. As far as Bishop Sycamore, they had good performance from Bijan Robinson, and that's about all it took. That's about all to write home about that matchup. As far as Turd Ferguson and Andy, yeah, Turd Ferguson domination is what we see from this matchup. You got Bo Nix with a good game, James Cook with a pretty good game. You got Jonathan Taylor with a pretty solid game. You got Nico Collins with a good game. And you got A.J. Brown with his best game on Turd Ferguson. You got Ferguson with a solid game. You got R.J. Harvey with a very good game. And he got a late touchdown in that game. Jawan Jennings had a good game. You also had a good game from Kaimi. Not a great game from the defense, but it did not matter. As far as Andy's team, you got Joe Burrow back. That was at least nice to see. He had a pretty solid game. You got a solid game from McCaffrey, solid game from A-Chain, solid game from Watson. The rest could have been better aside from the Patriots defense. All right, and here's a funny one. You got Team IR versus Tank for Tyson or Tate. Yeah, Tank for Tyson or Tate didn't start most of his starters, and it came to backfire on him. As, yeah, he still lost, because only Jacoby Myers and CeeDee Lamb and Javonte Williams showed up for Team IR. Yeah, it was a bad game for Team IR, but they are just fine with it. Even Chris Boswell only had a point. Boswell's been a very good kicker this season, and he only got a point, which is kind of crazy to see because Boswell, he's one of the best, but he only got 1 point because he only had one kick opportunity. Not Boswell's fault. That's more so the Steelers that couldn't fucking score. All right, next game, we got Phil versus Tank for Love. Yeah, Tank for Love, they almost found a way to win this game. They did not have a bad game. They had a good play from Josh Allen, got a solid play from Devin Singletary. Good, not bad play from Tedero McMillan despite only having 2 targets. Kyle Pitts had a very good game. You got a good game from Debo. You got an extremely good game from Jason Myers. And a solid game from their defense. As far as Chase McLaughlin, he had a good game for Phil. Brock Bowers had an incredible game. Chase Brown had a good game. Derrick Henry had a good game. And the king, Drake May, went off for Phil. Yeah, that's what you love to see. And then 195.44. That's possible? I didn't know that was possible. We got a new high scorer all time. Yeah, that's the biggest thing to go through this week. We'll go through Kentucky Fried Pickles real quick. Jacoby Brissett had a good game. Not a great game from Saquon. You got a good game from Bucky Irving. Puka didn't play like Puka, but he still played good. George Pickens didn't have his best game of the year, but he still played good. Kittle wasn't bad, and the rest wasn't really much to write home about aside from Jacksonville. And then you go to Ryan. Yeah, Seattle somehow got 32 points, 13 points from Aubrey. Wandale didn't even have a good game compared to the rest of his teammates. Same thing with Warren. Trey McBride was really good. Devontae Adams was very good. Rashee Rice, very good. DeAndre Swift, very good. ETN didn't even do much, which is insane to think about because he almost scored 200 points. And you got 29.44 from Patrick Mahomes. If he started somebody other than ETN, Monning guy, if he would have started him, he would have scored flipping. Oh my God, we could have saw the first 200-point scorer, but either way, he's the biggest scorer in league history. You gotta respect it. That's all that matters. And the final game, you got David versus the Sun God gang. Yeah, David, he got good performance from Jalen Hurts. David Montgomery, Bashal Tootin stole a touchdown. And Harold Fanning got a touchdown, which saved his day. And as far as the Sun God gang, Cortland Sutton, Quinshawn Judkins, Jamison Williams, they did their job. Amon-Ra St. Brown got hurt really early in the game, so he didn't even get a point, which sucks there. Kyron did his job, Genty did his job, and Daco did his job. Overall, that's all we really got as far as the matchups this week. Top storylines to go through. We got the new Point King, obviously, as we talked about with the Steel Curtain. As far as more storylines, Bishop Sycamore, Kentucky Fried Pickles, Phil and Turd Ferguson clinch playoff berths. That's cool to see. As far as possible draft outcomes that we got here, Brett will be picking from either 1, 2, or 3. The Tuggers will be picking from 1, 2, or 3. David will be picking from 2, 3, and 4. Team IR will be picking from 4 and 5. Tank for Tyson / Tate will be picking from 3, 4, and 5. And then the highest 3 teams can only pick at 6 at the highest. And then as far as the playoff seeding, we'll look through that in episode 3, which should be coming around Wednesday night. And then as far as we got one last thing to go through, and that's the new rankings. Here we go. Week 13 rankings. These are big. We got some big rankings here. All right. As far as number 12, staying at number 12, we got Brett. Makes sense. He wants the guy on the screen. It makes sense. As far as 11, we got the Tuggers. The Tuggers, they stay at 11. No reason to push them up because they both keep on losing. As far as number 10, we got David. He moves down 1 spot this week. He earned it. As far as Team IR, they moved down a spot. And then, Tank for Tate / Tyson, he moves up 2 spots. Yeah, he got his win this week, which earned him going up 2 spots. As far as 7, we got the Sun God Gang. They stay at 7 despite getting their victory. That's all they needed, though. They don't need to be mad about that because if they win next week, they're in. That's all they can be happy about. As far as Andy, he moves down 1 spot. And then at number 5, the Steel Curtain, 195.44. That's what we need to talk about. They move up a spot. They earned it, 100%. Phil, he finds himself in the playoffs, so he stays at number 4. But still, he can be happy with where he's at. At number 3, we got the Kentucky Fried Pickles. New name this week, but not a win, so he moves down 1 spot. Moving up 1 spot, we got Chris, also known as Turd Ferguson. Yep, he gets his victory this week, and he earns a good spot up. And staying at number 1, we got Bishop Sycamore. As we know, Getsum's thrown at 7:48 a.m. That's all we know about. But as far as that, some closing stuff to go through is we'll see you tomorrow, likely tomorrow night, for the Week 14 Getsum podcast number 3, going through the Week 14 preview. We'll see you then. See ya and goodbye.